A police officer's split-second decision not to use force has earned him praise from his police chief. Good evening. I'm Clarice Tinsley. First, on Fox 4 News at 5:30, the Grand Prairie police chief says his officer would have been justified in using deadly force. It started with a traffic stop that turned into a chase. The officer's adrenaline was pumping. The sirens were blaring. It ended with the suspect alive and in custody. Today, the officer talked to Fox 4's James Rose about the difficult decision to show restraint. James.
You know, you got to take everything into perspective. Like you mentioned, the adrenaline. It comes to a stop in a cul-de-sac. The suspect gets out of the car before the officer, Jeff Payne, even gets to stop his car. The suspect gets out and points what appears to be a gun at him. Today, he tells us why he did not open fire.
You know, I see him get out of the car, and my first thought was, I'm about to get shot. Because he's out of the car well before I am, and he's already taken the stance, and he's always pointing at me.
Grand Prairie officer Jeff Payne says on the evening of January 20th, all of his police training paid off during this confrontation. From this view, you might assume the suspect has a gun. Officer Payne's view was different.
So as I'm getting out of the car, I'm looking at him, and my eyes go straight to his hands. And to me, his hands looked empty.
Instead of pulling the trigger, Payne pushed the button on his duty belt that let his canine out of the SUV. Urich took it from there, taking the suspect down. Police later learned the suspect, Michael May, had a knife and a flashlight, but no gun.
I think it's important to look at this because this really highlights the challenging environment of policing and those split-second decisions that our officers have to make.
Grand Prairie Police Chief Steve Dye says this video is a teaching moment for the public and police. Dye says his officer used incredible restraint.
I think it's equally important that when we don't use lethal force, when we would have been justified to use that level of force, that we highlight the actions of these officers. That officer did an outstanding job. He saved this person's life.
Police believe the suspect wanted to be shot and killed by police. Payne's take on that?
I'm glad I didn't. I mean, you know, even though I would have been justified, it still would have weighed on my heart, you know, having to shot somebody that didn't have a weapon, even if I was justified in doing so. It's not something we ever want to do.
Another thing you can hear on that dash camera tape is the other officers that are arriving from the rear. As they come up and they see him in that position, they holler, gun, 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 and they take cover, and Payne still doesn't shoot. Instead, he hits the button and releases his dog. So the chief says he thinks moments like this, when officers have to make a life and death split-second decision, he believes they need to see that side of it as well. Clarice?
Incredible police work and reaction, James. Thank